What if the biggest thing standing between you and building a tech product was never actually the code? Because right now, that wall is coming down. Fast. For decades, actually building software meant hiring developers who would manually write every single instruction a computer needed to follow, line by line, hour by hour. It was slow, expensive, and completely locked out anyone who couldn't speak the language. But here's what's changed. Tools like GitHub Copilot can now generate entire blocks of working code from a plain English description. You literally just describe what you want. That's it. Researchers have actually given this a name: CHOP, or chat-oriented programming. Think of it like the difference between cooking a meal from scratch versus telling a smart kitchen robot, "I want pasta carbonara," and watching it just handle it. Same result, radically different process. Now here's where it gets really interesting. And this is the part most people are sleeping on. We're not just talking about one shift. There are two distinct phases happening here, and they look very different from each other. Phase 1 is assisted coding. A human developer is still driving, but AI is riding shotgun, making them dramatically faster. That's already mainstream. Phase 2 is where things get genuinely disruptive: autonomous coding, where AI agents design, write, test, and deploy entire software systems with barely any human in the loop at all. And we are actively moving from Phase 1 into Phase 2 right now. What does that mean for you as a business owner? The barrier to building a tech product has dropped off a cliff. A founder with a solid idea can now use these tools to spin up an MVP, a minimum viable product, basically a working version of your idea built fast enough to actually test it in the real market. Without a full dev team, without a 6-month build cycle, without burning a fortune. That door? It was shut for most entrepreneurs before this. It isn't anymore. So AI hasn't just made coding faster. It's completely rewritten who gets to build things in the first place. And that raises a pretty uncomfortable question for anyone in the upskilling space. If the code matters less, what exactly should people be learning? That's next. So beyond the big picture, who actually wins here? Who gets left behind? And where does your business sit right now? Let's start with the biggest winners, non-technical founders. If you've had a product idea sitting in your head for years, but building it felt too expensive or too complicated, that excuse is rapidly disappearing. A booking app, a customer portal, an inventory tool. AI coding assistants can now help you prototype and validate that idea without a technical co-founder and without paying a dev agency anywhere from 5 lakh rupees to 15 lakh rupees for a basic build. You can test whether customers actually want your product before you've spent serious money. That's a massive shift. For businesses that already have developers in-house, the win is speed and focus. AI handles the repetitive stuff, the boilerplate, the standard database queries, the unit tests, and your developers get to focus on the work that actually matters: strategy, architecture, user experience. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Look at this comparison. Developers using AI assistants scored 17% lower on code comprehension than those who coded by hand. Roughly a 2-letter grade drop. That's the calculator problem. Faster answers, but if the tool disappears, you've forgotten how to do the math. Junior developers who learn by doing are genuinely in a tough spot. Meanwhile, senior developers and architects? More valuable than ever. Their job is now to direct the AI, catch its mistakes, define the system logic, keep the whole thing from quietly falling apart. And edtech platforms that move fast on teaching AI orchestration and prompt engineering? They're not competing with coding bootcamps anymore. They're replacing them. Your position in all of this comes down to one thing: how fast you adapt. So now that you know what's changing, the real question is, what do you actually do about it? Here's the mental model that changes everything. A developer used to be like a watchmaker, handcrafting every tiny gear, every line of logic. That job is shifting. Today, the developer is more like a factory manager overseeing automated robots building the watch. The craft hasn't disappeared. It's just moved up a level. And that level is about designing systems, catching AI mistakes before they ship, and communicating intent clearly enough that the AI actually builds the right thing. So if you're hiring right now, stop asking, can this person write good code, and start asking, can this person think like a director, not just an author? That distinction matters more than any technical test you could throw at them. Now, for business owners who aren't technical. Yes, the opportunity is real. AI tools genuinely let you build faster and cheaper. But here's the dry irony. Faster and cheaper also means faster to build something completely broken. AI-generated code can look totally fine and still contain subtle logic errors that only show up when real customers start using your product. That human verification layer, someone who understands what the code is actually supposed to do, is still non-negotiable. Don't let the speed fool you into skipping it. So practically, here's where to point your energy. Got a product idea? Use AI tools to build a rough MVP and test it with 10 to 20 real users before you spend another rupee on it. Got an existing dev team? Invest in upskilling them on prompt engineering and AI tool management, not just traditional coding. And finally, Watch the autonomous coding space closely. Within the next 2 to 3 years, AI agents that can independently build and deploy entire features will likely be available to small businesses, not just the big tech firms that can afford a 100-person engineering team. You know, the bottom line? AI coding isn't a threat. It's a lever. But a lever only works if you know where to place it. The businesses that win here will be the ones treating AI like a powerful junior team member. Give it clear direction. Keep smart oversight on it, and make sure there's a human with actual judgment sitting at the top. Get that right, and this shift works for you. Get it wrong, and you're just moving faster in the wrong direction. Follow us for more updates like this. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and X.